Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. So we are now out here at the garden. We're going to look at some of the new plants we had planted in. Well, I guess we should say seeds we sowed in. So let's get started. So over here are the cucumber plants we put out. Originally they were planted on this other side. We have moved them over. They are doing good. They're climbing a trellis. Then we also came in and we put in a bunch more seeds. These are the white spine over here. This is a large cucumber. It's supposed to get about 18 inches. These are about 4 to 6 inches, and they are coming in nicely down along this fence line. Over here, the tomato plants that we seeded in, they're growing very nice. We need to get out here and do a little weeding, obviously, but for right now, they're coming in pretty decent. We'll put some stakes in. We're going to make sure that we keep these tied off because these are the indeterminates. They will get very large. As you can see, the rain has been hitting these golden zucchinis very hard, but they are actually starting to blossom. We have some blossoms coming in. We will get up early in the morning to catch these as they flower and transfer. Sorry about that leaf, guys. We will get up early in the morning and we'll make sure that we transfer male pollen to these female blooms down there. Coming in really nice. And over here we decided to put in some corn. Get around here where we can see. So we're going to have to do some weeding. We've been getting a lot of rain, but we have a lot of corn coming in. This is that Silver Queen corn we grew earlier in the year, and we're going to put some more out. We made this row about 4 rows wide, and it's about 10 foot long, so that should do pretty good for the pollination. These are the squash plants we had. They are doing very well. Our zucchini plants are still looking really good. And then, of course, our okra has just taken off. We're averaging about a pound or 2 every couple days of okra. Again, we're going to have to do some more weeding, but we have a lot of collard greens that are just kind of scattered sowed up through here. Then over here we have our cantaloupe plants. We got our trellis put in for them to climb, and they are doing just a great job of that, climbing up, following up along that fence and up along the poles. A lot of blooms coming in, so we will start checking these in the morning when the female blooms are open so we can actually start getting these to fruit. So when it comes to okra, guys, you can pick it at different sizes. I like it about like this. It's a little bit tougher on the skin, but there's quite a bit more vegetable there whenever you go to cook that up, fry it up, however you decide you want to cook it. I prefer mine fried. Some people saute it. Some people make gumbos with it. It's totally up to you, however you want to do that. But as you can see, I mean, we're getting a pretty decent start with our summer garden, guys. If you see in behind here, this okra here, this stuff will grow like wildfire in this heat that we've been having. All of our plants that are planted in the shade, they stay pretty cool. We're getting a lot of new blossoms coming in, if you can see down below, which is really nice. We're getting some actual female blossoms in there as well. So that's one of the things you got to watch for when you start getting these high heat temperatures, man, is you're going to run into situations where they do not make the female blossoms. When that happens, you can try to move your plants. Sometimes that doesn't work if they're sowed into ground. But as you can see, we're starting to get our female blossoms on our squash plants as well. Everything's starting to look really good over here. I figure here in another couple weeks, our tomatoes and our golden zucchini is going to start looking really good. Our quail are doing really well. They have been laying like crazy, so we recently thinned the flock out a little bit. We will start getting some more breeding done come fall. Right now it's just a little hot for me to even really bother breeding these guys. It would be fine for hatching, the incubators and stuff like that, and it would probably be okay for them when we come into the brood stage as well. But one thing you want to watch for is the early stage of the first couple weeks. You really have to make sure that temperature remains constant, and unless you're doing an indoor brood, which I've moved all my brooding outdoors now, you're going to run into a situation where it might be too hot, one, for the incubation period, but two, it could end up being too hot for the young quail. You can get it too hot just like you can get it too cold. Something to remember anytime you do any type of project, whether it's outdoor, indoors, or whatever, you're going to have a lot of trial and error, trying different plants in different areas. Some areas they do well in, some areas they don't do so well in. I believe this shade area is going to be pretty good for this yellow zucchini, or golden zucchini as they call it. I am seeing a lot of female blooms on a very early flowering plant, so that's going to be great for some food production. I cannot wait until these cucumbers start really coming back in. I tore out a lot of the vine. I ended up getting some vine beetles because it kept raining so much I couldn't get out here and use my diatomaceous earth. And anytime I would spray neem, it would just end up washing it off within a couple days. So that's something that you really got to start watching for. You can take and you can start investing in different types of pesticides and stuff. But the problem with that, if you start using a lot of chemical pesticides, you're going to run into a situation where maybe you're going to end up eating stuff that you don't really want to eat, you know, because it's not very organic, I guess you could say. But it is also one of those balancing acts. If you get to a point where you need the food, though, you need to figure out, you know, what is it that you're going to do? Is there some areas that you can go ahead and start looking at saying, you know, well, I'm going to make sure that I use a certain type of pesticide. They have different types out there. Whereas I prefer the neem oil. When it becomes ineffective because of rainy seasons, you have to start kind of looking at other stuff. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing, is going to the garden center here in the next weeks or so. And I'm going to start looking around and seeing what they have, because I do not want to deal with having to have them squash beetles boring into the vines and things like that with our plants. They will get into your cucumber plants as well, unfortunately, and that can kill your plants. It can make them where they're sickly and they're not producing. You start getting weird different shapes and stuff. But the plants that I have put in now, other than the white spine cucumbers, these seeds that I have planted, these are a hybrid seed, and they are supposed to be a little bit more hardy, I guess you could say, where they don't get as many disease. And that's one thing you're going to deal with when you have insects, is it can cause disease in your plants and stuff as well. So sometimes it's easier to just go ahead and pull the old stuff out, put the new stuff in, give it a couple months, and you're going to kick back into production. With this time of season we're getting into now, we're going to have that nice good rain coming in about every afternoon. Sometimes it'll skip a little bit, but I'm figuring by come first part of September, we're really going to start kicking into overdrive on our production again. Right now we're still averaging about 2 to 3 zucchini and a couple squash per week, which, you know, is fine for what we need. It's not a lot as far as, you know, are you going to be putting a lot of food back at that point. But what it does do is it actually takes and it helps you save money on your grocery bill, because you're eating what you're growing, and then the money that you would originally spend on your groceries, you can switch that over to prepping, which is always a great idea to do. When it comes to okra, the hotter the better. Just make sure it has plenty of water. You're going to notice when you come in, if you remember the size I showed you a minute ago, and we'll show you that again, where we have the, see that small size there? Within a day, that'll be closer to this size. And then after 2 days, you're going to be looking at those very large okra pods that we just had. And I'm walking back that way to grab them so we can show you what we'll have. It takes about 2 to 3 days the moment you start seeing the pod grow to reach about that size. That's a pretty good size. To show you a little contrast, that is up against my face. That is a large okra pod. All right, so I'm going to get off here. I hope everyone's having a great day. Just a reminder, we are going to have our members live stream at 7 o'clock tonight, and hope to see everybody there. I understand people are busy at different times and stuff, so if that doesn't work for the members, please comment in on tonight's live stream whenever it's sitting, and let us know what the best time to do those live streams are for you. Figure 7 o'clock would be pretty good and ideal for everybody, but it looked like there was a few of us that wasn't able to make it, so I want to make sure that we're getting that at a time where everyone's going to be able to participate. So have a wonderful day.